Hello everyone, welcome to the next session of this training. In this section we will see introduction about ABAP repository objects. It is important as an SAP consultant that we understand what is ABAP repository. However, we may not be the person who will be doing this ABAP changes in the program. It will be done by the ABAPers. However, as a basis consultant, it is important that we slightly understand this ABAP repository. So if you see here, what is ABAP repository? ABAP repository which contains all the tables, programs, screens, function modules, like this. That's what we have seen. What is ABAP repository? So in the ABAP repository, we have two kinds of programs. We have a SAP standard program. Also, we said that the SAP allows the customers to develop their own programs. Customer development supposed to be start with Z, otherwise Y. However, customer also can register their company name as a reserved space with SAP. Whenever SAP reviews any of these programs, they know, okay, this particular program start with some specific namespace. It belongs to this specific company or customer. As you know, almost every business scenario is already delivered by SAP. However, SAP allows the customer to enhance their existing program, as well as you can create your own programs. So if you see in this graphics, we have two spaces. One is SAP namespace, one is customer namespace. So whatever you have in SAP, standard SAP, if you make any modification, any changes in the standard SAP objects, this is called modification, modifying the SAP objects. And whenever you do any changes in this object, you need to register with SAP. That is also one of the basis tasks. In the sense, if you go to the OSS, which we have seen, there one tab you can see register object. So whenever you modifying any object, you will register with SAP. The reason behind that we have to do that, because if you upgrade the system on any time, then SAP knows what all the standard objects you have modified. That's the reason we need to register with SAP. Okay, that is called modification, modifying the standard SAP program. Let's come from here. Let's say if you want to develop a new program, then SAP allow you to create your own program, and you can also create your own tables, you can create your own transaction codes. All developments which is done by customer is called customer developments. So let's assume that this is not enough. For example, in a standard program, you wanted to have an additional check, additional validation. For that, you have exits, customer exits. Using the customer exit, you can easily add an additional enhancement to the existing program, which is called enhancement. If, let's say, the enhancement also not sufficient, that time you will go for modification. Okay. So initially, customer development there is no much impact here. You can develop as much as you want. If it is not enough, then you can do enhancements in the standard program, where SAP allows, or SAP gives you an option to do some customer exits. If that is not possible, then you can do the modification. That is the difference between customer space and the SAP namespace. Now let's have a look into ABAP program. What do you mean by ABAP program? What role it has? Basically, this ABAP program, we also created ABAP program in ACAT. If you see, what we did is we write something. We created a report. It's kind of a list. Yeah, that's what we did. We write something. So the ABAP program contains screens, selection screens, and list. So when we run a program, for example, VA01 or SU01, we got a screen where you need to key in something. Then you also have a program where you can select the screens, okay, some screens which you will be calling to input some parameters. Okay, and it can also output some details. And this same ABAP program can read some table or update some table. It can include some tables. If you see here, if you do parameters, it will get the parameters from the selection screen. If you call the screen, then it will call the specific screen. You can create different number of screens. Using the screen painter, you will create the screen. From the ABAP, you will call this particular screen to display the specific screen. Okay, then if you wanted to output something, if you want to write something, then you will use the write command to list out some outputs to the screen. This is a simple example for an ABAP program. And ABAP use quite number of tools. For example, Screen Painter, they use SE51, and ABAP Dictionary is SE11. And we also seen SE38, how to create a program. SE80 also ABAP editor. And the function module is SE37. This is a transaction code for creating function module. Function module is nothing but it's kind of programs, but it does interface between one program to another program. Okay, so far we seen SE38. If you go to tools, ABAP workbench, development, here you can see all the ABAP related tools. Yeah, first you have ABAP dictionary, where the ABAP dictionary is the one important tool where it will keep all the dictionary elements. Let's say, like for example, table. If you go to the table T001, the table which we have seen, this is a table. This table contains fields and the structures. Each field have its own structure. That means each field we need to specify what is this field is, whether it is characters or numbers, and what is the length of this field. Like this kind of information is kept in the ABAP dictionary. Okay, here you can see these are all the fields what we have seen: client, company code, name of the companies, and here also you can specify there is some key field. Like this you can specify. This is a data element. This, if you double click here, then it will take you to the data element of this particular. Here you can see the data element. It's a data element which is client, and it's a domain, what is the length, and everything is specified here. And one interesting part in SAP is you can switch between different transaction code. If you just simply double click, and it will take you there. You can also do the same thing in your ABAP program. When you are creating the program, you can double click there and it will take you to the specific place. Okay, this is SE11 ABAP dictionary. Then we have ABAP editor SE38, which we have seen to create this program, and this is function builder. This is also same like SE38. You can create a program. This program is basically called by an ABAP program. You cannot directly run this program. This is like a function. It's a function within your ABAP program. So in a main program, using this function module, you can interface your program with another program. That's called function module. And class builder, screen builder, all the tools are listed down here. And the next which you would like to see is how do we see the source code of an ABAP program. This we've seen it before already in our initial introduction. Here we just have a review. So let's say in any time, if you wanted to see what is the program you are running, you can go to system, then go to status, then you can see this status. Here you have the SAP data where you get the transaction code and the program and the screen. Right now, what is the screen number in the specific program it's been called. Okay, with this we are coming to the end of this session. Thank you very much for listening. I will see you in the next session. Bye bye.